some college mail.
Oh yeah,
business work.
I've gotten a lot of mail too. I got one from down from Mississippi today.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
Starkville, Mississippi.
I have some mail too from college trips from this year in high school. Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Quite the college tour of several trips.
At UNKC on the 2nd.
Wait!
You
I
got
thought
your
it was
favorite-
childhood stories.
No, that's the second episode. Trayson, you suggested the subject here.
Oh, we're the one that suggested this.
But this is the second episode.
No. This is the third one. This is the third one. This is the backup to be the second episode if scheduling conflicts delay the second episode. Chronologically, the second episode is our guest episode.
So we're not necessarily
Okay.
here, okay?
So we're skipping
Okay.
a recording. We're going from 1 to 3 because we count correctly here.
Well, I had a good childhood story in my head. Now it's on the school, and I have no idea now.
You're the one that suggested.
Yeah, you were.
I didn't know we were doing it now. I thought we would do it later on.
I'm pretty sure I specifically said for the third episode as well. It's like,
We were doing that one next, going in order, but we count right over here, so you know.
you specifically stated.
So I see an option if you all right. We record episode 3 tonight.
Yeah, so this is this is recording 2, but it's episode 3.
Yes.
And recording 3 is going to be episode 2.
No. It's
Okay. Or
recording.
something like that. Well,
Wait, hold on. No, recording 3
is
is episode 2. This is going to be the third episode.
Yes.
If scheduling conflicts happen where we can't do recording number 3 within the next week, this will be episode 2.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on,
Welcome back to the.
Hold on, no.
No?
No?
I've got a biscuit in my phone. Hold on.
No, shut up. Be quiet. Let me do something.
Shut up, hang on.
So, welcome back, guys, to the. Okay, I'm gonna start talking in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, guys, to the Bumbling
Tumbling.
Fumbling.
And stumbling.
podcast, where we talk about dumb stuff that we've done. Alright, today's
Very dumb
topic,
stuff, yes.
today's topic, kids, is, drumroll please, school stories! Yay!
Wow.
The amazing adventures in elementary school.
The marvelous misadventures of what we used to do.
You know, last week's guest was pretty fun and all, but we kind of have to get back to the 4-person format, though.
Yeah. Pretty fun, yeah.
I mean, we
So,
had some great
4 of us.
stories, but, not childhood stories, that's last week. I'm having a crisis here. It's school stories.
Yes. High school, elementary, preschool, kindergarten, yeah.
We don't have to go where I started every time. If someone has a story that they'd like to share now... Okay,
Just,
well, I'm pretty
really
sure I've
consistent.
told you all the story before, and probably more recently all of you again, but let's tell it for the podcast folks at home. So, it was 2020. The school year had just started. We were going back to school, except online school was an option. I took that option because I thought it'd be easier. I was wrong. Who would have guessed? Someone that cannot pay attention for the life of them trying to pay attention while at home? Isn't that a good combo?
Especially
Not really, no.
your schoolwork by doing other schoolwork.
Hey,
wow.
no, it wasn't with other
Not
schoolwork.
supposed to miss.
I wasn't procrastinating with other schoolwork. I was procrastinating with
Video games.
Schoolwork.
with anti-homework.
Also,
God,
like,
I love anti-homework.
What is that? Just like whatever's in your homework folder?
Hey, yes, the math stuff that's
but like, okay,
cheat
like,
with the math, yeah.
math class online is way harder because no one's teaching you specifically. You have to read, and when someone and here's the thing,
too.
They didn't make videos for you?
I think there were a rare few, but it was just reading, and I don't do well with reading, especially if it's like math.
Are you
reading.
illiterate?
No, it's not that I'm illiterate. It's just I'll read something once, and I'll be like, "What did I just read?" And then I'd read through it again before
What were
I
those
finally
strange
comprehend.
hieroglyphics I was staring at?
Because it's like every and then my brain refuses to
Why
comprehend.
is there German letters in math? Like,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'll read like a word problem for math, and I'm like, "What? That makes no sense." And then I'll read it again. I'm like, hey, "It's making some sense." And then I'll read it a third time, and it's like, "Oh yeah, there it is."
yeah, I do
Oh,
sometimes
yeah, that exists.
do. Read
So-
it again and again and again.
I decided after the first quarter, I was going to go back to school. And I barely passed any
Oh my
classes
god.
for that
Yeah.
quarter.
Worst decision of your life.
Yes. And then the first day I go back, I feel like I got a warm welcome, it felt like. I talked to some friends that I hadn't talked to in a while, and then I think it was my 5th hour. No, it was my 6th hour. No, yeah, my 6th hour.
It was that hour,
Yes,
this
no,
hour,
maybe.
maybe that one?
Or maybe
No,
8th hour, first hour? I don't know.
Okay, so I had a health class. I was taking it because it was a required credit. So I was
Healthy.
taking health, and, well, it was my 6th hour, and when I walk into the room, I saw something that I did not expect. On one of the desks was just a Woody chilling out there.
Waiting to be
I
grabbed.
have to elaborate on this, Wyatt, because you can't just say there was a Woody.
Oh, you want me to
he
say
can't.
that it was a
He
wooden
literally
replica
can't.
of a male body part? Yeah, you might
No,
as
you
well
do.
just said, "Hey, what's up?" and come take a seat here, why don't you?
It's maybe-
What?
never mind. Never mind.
If memory serves, something special also happened in English that day.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna get to that as well, because this was my 6th hour, and I went straight to 7th hour afterwards. But here's the thing, like,
No, I went to 8th hour.
here's the thing. When with online school, I barely paid any attention to anything that I was taught. So I walk into health class, and I'm just shocked. I'm like, "Whoa, what?" And then there was like a pre-quiz or something as well after we put a condom on the Woody.
Sweet.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm. So was it made of wood or like rubber or something?
It was wood.
Why would
Yeah,
it be
well,
called
are-
anything else?
But the condom wasn't wood, because that wouldn't be a very good contraceptive.
Come
No,
back.
I don't know. Maybe it would be.
Well, I mean, it would block it, but it also would be horrible.
Yeah,
And
it
painful.
would block it. It would block it.
Shut up.
Wood.
Shut up.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, after 6th hour, after health, I'm like, okay, well, that was a strange hour. How worse could it get? Boy, was I wrong. I was put in my place that afternoon. I walk to my 7th hour, which is an English class. And I kind of sit down and I'm greeted with the entire class like it was my first day of going to Poplar Bluff in general. But I kindly explained, hey, I'm just, I just did online because I thought it would be easy, and I was wrong. And then the
Easy.
teacher, the teacher gave me like a quick warning. Is like, we are watching a movie actually. Don't worry. And then they started the movie, right? And it was Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, I love that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I love the movie. I've watched it since that day. But
and I've listened to the song a lot too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
A Man of Constant Sorrow. That's great. Anyway.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Anyways.
So I don't know if you recall the scene about the with the KKK, but that's what
yes.
that was
a wonderful experience.
that was the first scene that started playing as soon as that was the first scene that was
just walk in like, oh wow, okay.
I had no I didn't know anything about the movie at all either, so I walk in and it's just like, oh, what is this movie? Maybe I'm
This is interesting.
yeah, this is interesting. Maybe I want to do some of my own research.
Yeah, when did they change the curriculum?
I didn't know they encouraged this.
Educational purposes.
That's fine, because, like, the scene is, like, heavily satirized.
Yeah, it's satire, but that because it's just a comedy. The movie is like it's supposed to be funny.
I love it.
I need to
watch that.
Yeah, I need to watch that again as well. All right, so that is officially my story of what happened.
Walk in, put a condom on a wooden shape, and then walk to the next class and watch a KKK movie.
Wonderful day at school, kids.
Hey, welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
Johnny, what you do today?
Go. We're open every day and hate a certain type of person.
And persons, but yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that. Yeah, so
Alex just died at that.
I mean, here's the thing. Alex was in that hour as well. He was in the 7th hour.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that. He just walked in first day, and then that scene is the first one he saw.
Yeah.
And there it is.
And then we went to Romeo and Juliet, and God, that movie that we watched. Whew.
Was it?
Oh.
Was it the one or the new one?
It's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio. It is.
Okay, new one. Yeah. Yeah, they speak in that language, but like in the modern day, it's really off-putting.
Yeah, it was like
but they use the original text. They use the original text of it, and so it's like so off and bad. And I remember, I guess this is going to be a mini story. I remember one day in class, there's like a couple of girls or something sitting in front of me, and I was like, it was about to go into the death scene, and I tell them, like, this scene is so funny. This is the funniest scene in the whole. That was insane.
It's just so outlandish.
In the movie, like Juliet wakes up as Romeo is like holding poison in his hand, and he's just like crying, but he doesn't look down, so he doesn't notice she's awake. And instead of saying anything to Romeo, seeing that he's crying over her, she just smiles at him, and so he doesn't notice, and then he drinks the poison.
Just like half awake, looks at him,
and then she stabs herself. It's like, you could have prevented this so easily, and so it's like the funniest scene in the whole movie.
Like, just move your hand or something. You give his attention, man.
Shift in your coffin a little bit, man.
That movie is like an LSD trip gone wrong, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Pretty much. Yeah. If you pay attention, right, it can seem that way.
It's like it's like draw your blades, and it's like blade brand guns.
Yeah.
But remember when we when we did what was it, To Kill a Mockingbird? We did not take that movie serious. We didn't take any of that seriously. We were like partners on like this project or something. It was like this paper we had to do. God, yes. It was about Calpurnia as well. And instead of doing the paper, doing stupid stuff like Calpurnia, Snake Maid. It's just a bunch of snakes.
Yeah, we like drew snakes coming out of her wrists or whatever, and we're like, Calpurnia is actually full of snakes. That class hour was also the origin of our running joke, which is just Wyatt doing a Patrick voice and going, button. And I don't know why, but it's like the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like, it's so stupid, but it makes me laugh every time.
I feel like every time we talked together in that class, we were just sitting next to each other. Our IQ just began to drain, and it was like we were both high the entire time.
That was the beginning of the end for us, man.
Man. Is that where... what was the idea for a podcast born in that classroom, actually?
I don't remember, actually.
I remember I definitely talked about it last year.
But, man, yeah, that To Kill a Mockingbird was so fun because we just made so many jokes. Oh, man. But the Snake Maid is wonderful.
So who's next on their story?
That's you.
Me? Oh god, I don't know.
Or do you want me to? Do you want me to, or do you want you to?
I mean, Alex, do you have any other story?
No, hey, it's interesting. Go ahead, yeah.
I mean...
you want me to go?
We got time.
Yeah, go ahead, go, yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'll go. So, back before I met any of you, like, I'd say 6th grade, wow. I don't know if you guys know the show, like, Charlie the Unicorn, but I had a very funny experience when I was showing it to one of my friends. So, my bus ride was basically an hour till I got to the house, and it was super bumpy. And you know how whenever you're on like a bus, whenever you're younger, you like to like go under the seats, like crawl around, yada yada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never did that, but sure, yeah.
Well, it's actually a lot more comfortable than you think because you can get like better positions and just make the bus ride easier. And since our school didn't have that many,
so much.
Our school didn't have that many people. So basically everyone didn't sit in the chairs. We would just kind of either be laying on the actual ground of the literal bus, or basically be putting our hands on the seat and our legs under it.
It feels better than the seats. The ground feels so much better.
It honestly does.
Dirty.
Yeah, that was the only problem, is that it was dirty. And since we didn't have that many kids and we weren't allowed to have food, the ground wasn't that dirty.
I hate that.
Sweet.
However, the very important detail of the bus ride was very bumpy, and the detail I was showing this little funny TV series to my friend is that I was on the ground. I was trying to be like, hey, listen to this. It got bumpy. I wasn't holding my phone right, and then my phone slammed on the ground and slid to the front of the bus instantly. So it was also at the exact same time I turned my volume all the way up as a funny little joke.
Oh no!
Oh god!
We were near like the middle back of the bus, I'd say.
Oh
yeah.
Not like all the way in the back, but a little bit in the front of it. But we were not in the middle. And all you could hear in there, where we were, was... And then this random person, because we were next to my stop, this random person was just like, what is that? What am I listening to?
What is this dramatic sound?
And then, like, her and her friends were, like, starting to get up, just, like, wondering what in the hell was, like, happening. Because all you hear is, Charlie! And then, like, you also, while you hear this, near my house, it gets even bumpier, and then it stops. So you just hear, like, this random thing going across the bus, basically, and then just the Charlie either getting really, really loud and then disappearing, basically, or just, like, it gets really close to you for a while. And then someone accidentally stepped on my phone, which was the only reason I managed to get it back, basically. It was very very funny. Me and my friend couldn't keep a straight face. She was dying of embarrassment, and I couldn't stop laughing. And then, as soon as the person who stepped on my phone and finally handed it back to me when I was getting off was just like, what were you listening? I want to understand what I was hearing.
I needed to know, what was it?
So yeah, that is my funny little school story.
Nice. Is it my turn?
Technically didn't happen on school grounds, so it doesn't count. No, I'm joking.
However, it was still on a school vehicle.
Yeah, which is school property, so...
Got a good one, go on.
Well, I don't have any like fascinating stories or any hilarious ones. Like I got some like in track or basketball or something, but those aren't like too hilarious. Plus, I wasn't that much involved in my younger years, so you know. But so besides all kinds of the tinier things like the boys in the locker room, you know, taking pictures and things go things go down. But besides all that stuff, and actually that didn't happen. Anyway, so then like besides all that stuff, like which that happened freshman year, which was senior, named Jagger Robinson, but I don't think anybody even knows him. Anyway,
Got the moves like
cool dude. Okay, so wait, what?
That's a song.
Oh, I don't know the song. Oh. So yeah, I have a story that is probably better than most of them, you know, in the modern days, like you know, junior high and high school. But I think it was back in fifth grade. Fifth grade, it was a field trip. I forgot if it was in summer school or if it was just in the year. But we went to Camp Allen. We talked about this first episode, and Camp Allen. So the big slide that White was talking about, that's right outside of the gymnasium on a big hill.
The big black slide that goes down the hill, and there's a white launch pad.
Yes, and it vibrates all the way down because it's all bumpy and yeah.
Only one gender is allowed to be happy about that.
No, anyone can be happy.
I mean, we're like, and then I've spoken too much. I surrender.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, so that slide has been there for many years, and that was like the first or second year that it's been in Camp Allen, and I had the bright idea when all the other kids and I think some junior high kids came with us once, because there was this one dude. He was tall and like athletic, and he just ran down the slide full speed. It was perfectly agile enough to slow down and just hop off the side of it. I don't know how he did it. He just ran down and just like, let's go. And yeah,
he has about the same amount of decision-making skills I have, but was allowed to stop.
Probably a bit more controlled, but yeah, but yeah. So I had one of my backpacks on while I had Benny over my elementary year, and this one had a book inside of it, a book and papers and other stuff. It weighed good, like 5 pounds at least, and apparently it was just enough for my 90-pound butt to somehow slide down the slide that I chose to go backwards, like on my back, head down, backwards, down the slide.
Even on a normal slide, you can do that.
So I decided to go on my back backwards, head down with my backpack right behind my head, and I slide down. At this point I weighed maybe 100 pounds at the minimum. I don't know how I was going so fast, but I was, and I'm going down, going fast. Yeah, I'm going down, and in my head I'm like, well, I was kind of young, so it wasn't that strong, but in my head I was like, okay, I'm going a little faster than what I remember this felt like. It's a little faster. Okay, hang on. And so once I reached the little platform there, that's like 8 foot long at most, I slide off the entire thing and dive bomb directly off the end of it on my head. Whole body does a backflip on the ground, completely crash land. And I started crying. obviously, but yeah. But looking back at it now, it was like I was like, this is different. I'm a little fast now. Hang on, and I fall down, crash land in the dirt.
You know, that slide has given us plenty of stories to tell, apparently.
Even years ago. Yeah, fun times. I started crying for like 15 minutes straight.
What a baby. What a wuss.
Mother, I split myself in half.
My left leg is like in the air. My leg hurts. Like I had a boob.
We just need to put you in a body cast.
Yeah.
I guess I did back then. It was terrible back then.
You slid down so fast you broke every bone in your body.
No, we need to put you in a cast right now, Jason.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we need to put you in a cast right now. Seems so tragic.
Oh. Alright, do it. Okay, we'll come to my house right now and I'll be sitting there waiting for you.
On my way.
Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, but so I have another story. Okay, so this other story, it was 8th grade year, or no, yeah, it was 8th grade year because it was the same teachers for both the years in junior high, for 7th and 8th grade. So this was obviously years later. It was before COVID. It was like the beginning of the school year, like about a month in, or yeah, like a month and a half in, and I forgot that because we had this teacher. Her name was Miss. It got changed, but I probably don't want to say it. But so her name was and
Don't
she
worry,
was the history teacher. What? Okay.
I'll get a bleep.
Nice. And so Miss Wilder was the history history teacher. I said the name again. I'm about to do it again. Yeah. So it was during 5th hour or 6th hour. I forgot what time it was.
You're doing the same thing I did
on that particular day. What? Not exactly. It just so happened to be about in the middle of the day. But,
like my story.
Oddly enough. I swear, I'm not copying you. I swear, it's coincidence. Okay.
So in your history teacher's classroom was a Woody.
So at my school, it was actually. Never mind. I'm not finishing that sentence. Okay. But, no. So
I know you live in.
So on the day, it was
And on to the next person.
Time's up. Sorry, pal.
Come on.
Okay, so I'm not good at telling stories too quickly. Sorry. So
It's not. No, it's just everyone else keeps interrupting you.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
happens a lot. Okay. So anyway, okay. So I kind of lost my train of thought for a second. Hang on, I'm trying to get back on track. Okay. So yeah. So 6 hour history class, and so we were doing an assignment at as you do. It was like a Wednesday of the week. So, and so she said a story one time where it had happened like 2 years ago, where she had been tripped by a student walking down the aisle of the aisle of the desks, and so like she trips and falls, and she had told us this like the first week of school. And it's like, well, that's pretty funny, huh? And she's like 50 years old, and and yeah. So guess what happened? So guess what happened this time? She trips again, but it wasn't really by my feet, kind of, because I was on the So in the middle of the aisle, I had my bag sitting beside my desk, and both line of desks were kind of close. But she was walking down the aisle doing what she does, getting her steps in, and I was leaning on the right side of my desk on the little armrest, and I had my left leg hanging just beside my bag, kind of in the aisle. So I'm sitting there, I'm just leaning over doing my work, and another kid, I think at that exact moment had bent over to put something in his bag or something, and his right leg had then swung out in the aisle as she walked by. So his foot heel, and I kind of nudge at that, and then she then trips over my foot that was currently kind of on his foot. So he trips, does a little and falls down. And she didn't fall down hard, but she like fell down just enough, to try to catch herself. And the whole class was like stunned, like, "Oh God, oh no, are you okay?" It's like, "No, I'm fine, I'm good." And she gets up all nice, like, "It's fine, it happens all the time, I'm so sorry, man, it was an accident."
I think you censored that story.
It's fine.
I think you actually killed your 50-year-old teacher. You can't lie. You can't hide the truth, Trayson.
I didn't kill her.
I'll go look for the newspapers.
I swear, I'm innocent.
I'll look at the obituary. I got a contact. I had a contact that I know the coroner of Wayne County. I know.
Oh,
not anymore.
Wait, what? But yeah, so on that day, she got tripped by me and another student. I forgot who it was, but it was me and
Team effort.
Team effort.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Co-op mode.
Alright, 51 go.
First round was solo. Second round was co-op.
Yeah. Fun times, but she didn't write anybody up for that or anything. It was all kind of funny, but the whole class was like in shock, like our teacher just fell on her face.
Imagine the entire class. Imagine the entire class just erupting into laughter right after that. It's like,
just imagine that. Yeah. Well, I think it didn't. I don't think it happened. I think somebody laughed way up in the corner of the room, but like,
just like a quick chuckle. It was like, oh shit, no one else is talking.
Just a little laugh under their breath. Yeah. So yeah, fun times.
Today, guys, in the next video, we're going to be killing my 5th grade teacher.
Okay, that was surprisingly perfect. That was
more than a child.
What?
No, we don't got a clown on him anymore. I don't know if he went back.
Want it to be known, none of us condone violence to your 5th grade teacher, particularly.
Yeah. Any other teacher, like, we can't comment on, but the 5th grade teacher, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that one. That one's the nice one. Unless you have a bad one, but still don't do it.
I go to Greenville, so I don't know who I'm even talking about, to be honest. I don't know anybody's teachers or high school.
Yeah, he lives in
Don't
Crackhead County.
You're not included in this. It's fine.
Okay, good, okay. I am a part of this officer, I swear.
Alright. Alex, you got a story?
I plead the 5th.
I've got a bunch of, like, mini stories.
You have a bunch of, like, mini stories? Share one of your minis.
No, I'll give you a few of them. So,
Okay.
We're gonna start from the beginning of my young life, when I was a wee little lad.
Was a
wee little
small,
lad.
stupid, young little child.
A little turd, a little fart,
Apparently, according to my mother, I, like in preschool, we were reading like a children's book or whatever in class. The teacher was reading it to us, and I guess the teacher got called out to talk to like a colleague or something, and so she sat the book down and she left the classroom. And little me, who had been reading for a while now, because that's just the kind of kid I am, I got fed up with the fact that I guess she was taking too long. And so I got up on the chair and I picked up the book and I started reading the rest of the book to the class. Because I was like, we gotta finish this book. Apparently. I can't verify.
If you don't finish this book, guys, we're all gonna die.
Because it's a secondhand story, but it absolutely is something I would do.
I would not do that in my experience as a student. I would not be like, she's gone, I'm gonna start reading now.
Yeah.
It's gone, yeah. My turn, me.
Alright, friends, we're going to continue reading this children's book. In 1940...
On this page, it says...
Okay, hold up. Children's book.
On this page, it says...
And it says gibberish. Does it?
Yeah. And this page it says
Yeah, I can be
Start speaking backwards. And on this page it says
Yeah.
speaks. It speaks in backwards language.
So that's the first of my mini stories. The second one I think happens in kindergarten. So does the third one. So this next story, this one, very short. So it was like a snack time in like preschool or kindergarten, and I cannot have certain juices. So like apple and orange. So during the snack time, we had our snack, and then they gave us apple juice, right?
Nice.
Yes.
And,
Okay.
and I, knowing that I couldn't have apple juice at this point, because
Asked
I
if you
have
can have apple
already,
juice.
already experienced the adverse effects of this, I was like, "Hey, can I get some water?" And the teacher, I guess misunderstanding me or not wanting to waste apple juice or something, was like, "Drink your juice and then you can go get water." And I, in my brilliant little child brain, thought,
yes.
okay, so if I drink the juice, I can get water, so I won't have the adverse effects of the juice because I'll get water. And so I
Makes
drank the
sense.
juice.
That honestly does kind of make sense. It's like negative plus negative equal good.
Yeah, it's like the water.
Yes. Like,
So I drank the juice, and then I guess as I'm getting the water or whatever, adverse effects of the juice, I start puking, so I had to go home. And that was a brilliant idea of mine in my little kid brain. And the second one also happens in kindergarten. There was a time there was a substitute teacher, and I was sitting on a chair in the classroom, and I'm like, "Hey, can I go use the bathroom?" Because like I really had to pee, and she said no. And I might have asked a couple more times, and I just got a no. And so,
Then she
eventually,
started yelling at you to be quiet.
I couldn't hold it anymore, and so little kindergarten me just pissed all over the chair and the floor because my substitute teacher wouldn't let me use the bathroom.
I've done something like that.
actually, there was a student in like 6th grade who did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it'd be like
You
that.
really
though.
showed her.
Yeah.
Teacher,
Gotta clean up. Assert your
I mean,
dominance.
bathrooms-
Starts yelling, "Stick 'em up!"
Stick
wow.
Wow.
Shows the other students, "Behold my fire hydrant!"
I bestow upon you yellow
Well,
water.
no, like it was like peed my pants. Like I didn't pull my pants down and pee there. Like I just like peed my pants.
Yeah, straight there, boom, no words coming in my mouth. I forgot the word. Never mind. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so that happened. No, so, I mean not super recent, but semi-recently, more recently than that. 5th grade, right? I was still an extremely quiet kid then, and like I would just read constantly, like that's all I would do. And I was in one of my classes, and I was reading, and when I read, I get like, especially with good books, but like when I read, I get like super absorbed into it, and I just completely lose track of all the surroundings around me.
And then you become the book. And then someone taps on your shoulder and you start freaking out.
Yeah.
Someone else picks you up and then starts reading you, and then someone else picks them up and starts reading them.
It's a cycle.
And they get absorbed in the story, and then they begin. Okay.
But yeah, so I was just reading in class, and I was absorbed in my book, and without me knowing it, apparently the classes changed, like the bell rang and the classes changed, and so because in 5th grade, I believe I only had 2 classrooms, and each one taught half of the subjects. So we would switch back and forth between them like once or twice. So I was in my first classroom reading, And without my knowledge, because I was so absorbed in my book and I didn't have any outward stimuli coming into my brain, the bell rang, everyone left. But my teacher told everyone, all right, don't tell him anything. Just get up and go.
Oh wow.
Because she just wanted to know. And so, like, eventually, I look up from my book, see a bunch of people I don't know, and realize that this isn't the subject I'm supposed to be learning right now. And in a panic, I just fold my book, put it in my pack, and run to the other room like, shoot, no. Because my teacher had been like, okay, you know what would be funny? Just don't tell him.
Everybody prank him.
Halfway through the other class, I just looked up from my book and I'm like,
This
no.
in the same place.
This
isn't my usual learning area.
These aren't my normal peers.
Area of education.
Yeah. So
This is like...
panic.
What strange words are they using? Are those words in that math problem?
Wait,
Yeah.
what's A, B, and C? In math, what?
What's the Pythagorean theorem?
What's a symbol? Is it pi? What?
So, why are they using 3.14 on every equation?
Listen, I like pie as much as the next guy, but we don't need to be eating it all the time. Alright, just cool it.
I love apple pie.
I got a story. I got a story. Okay. So this is my 6th grade year. I ended up befriending some people. We're like a group of friends. We got I am the most innocent person at this point, okay? I am the most purest child on the planet at that point, okay?
No.
I talked to this guy that I used to talk to back in 6th grade, and he said that he has never heard me swear.
Newsflash!
Newsflash! Look at me now! So, I don't recall when, but we were watching these health videos. You remember those, right? They'll they'll separate the boys from the girls and sit you down and then start playing a video about puberty. It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
Start laughing at the.
My son never had that. Hang on.
Years if we would forget that,
And then we just, because we're so immature, we'd start laughing when they start talking about
Yeah.
Mr. Hoiminoy, pee-pee, funny.
So, before we are separated, one of my friends, we're gonna call him, I'm just gonna say his name and bleep it out,
Mr. Dumper Snatch.
So anyway, he was the most immature person in the group, okay? And he was of that group, okay?
Are we ever going to have on this show?
I hope not.
Who is that?
Don't worry.
We couldn't.
Oh, great.
I think he
Well,
does
don't
have
worry.
Discord though.
Thanks.
That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
I actually...
I swear to God, if you add him to the call.
Oh, good.
No, alright, so, just we need to continue with this story. I need to know what's
Sorry.
going on here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we would constantly joke about him, and then we said, I specifically said, watch. As soon as they start talking about the male body parts down below, that's when he's gonna walk into class, because he was missing at that point in time. And guess what when they started to talk about that thing? The door opens and he's in the door frame. As soon as they started
like
talking
a shadow
about
figure. Just staring, peering in during the class hour.
Yeah, he's in the door frame, only silhouetted, like he's like you can only see his eyes.
It's just a
Did someone
Yeah, I did
call
that
me?
once. But
You
yeah.
can only see the fact that he's like smiling, and you're like, oh.
It's just the door opens and all I hear is, "Did I hear ball hair?"
Oh, you missed the best part. I was
No,
talking
yeah.
about lighting ball hair on
The
Twitter.
hair.
Quote from...
Continue.
That's basically the end of that story, though. That he just walked in, is just like, whoa! Nice to see you here.
Oh, am I learning some new tricks? New
Also,
jokes?
Recently, I was reading through...
Jesus Christ.
I went to this, like, website and started reading, like... I was
I
researching
don't know if you heard that.
for the book that I was writing. And I ended up... These separate stories had titles to them. And some of them I couldn't help but laugh at.
I don't know if you heard it, but my sound thing here just completely fell over on top of me.
Good.
We did not hear it. We did not hear it.
I
You
didn't.
Okay, good.
It does. Okay, so Discord actually like specifically removes certain sounds that are other than voices. That's why certain people, whenever they're talking, are like super cracked up.
Okay, I found
Cool.
them. I found them. Okay. So, one of the things I added to my quote list was, so I decided to let it all hang out.
That wasn't a good idea.
And also, just
Yes,
super random, Brownie was also Indian.
Wow.
I can still do the accent right now, but I think it'd be a little racist. Never mind.
Yeah, don't do that. Actually, that's not.
That is not
Hey.
something that it should.
There are so many kids in my school, who do that.
It's bad enough that I said it, okay?
Hey, you know what? I was gonna say I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say this. Don't be racist.
I hate to say this,
You're
but
the
I'm
one
not.
saying this.
But what classified as being racist, though? Like, what are we making the accusation?
I know it might be tough for some people, but maybe make like. Maybe don't make like that scene in Oh Brother Where
Say
Art Thou.
warning,
Don't
racist in joke incoming.
You mean it might be tough for some people, like...
Racist joke incoming. 3, 2, 1. Every student says, okay. Well.
The reason why I don't think be a good fit for this
Three,
podcast.
2, 1. A poo from The Simpsons.
The reason this random, very funny individual would not be allowed in this podcast is simply because of this way he is.
I mean,
The way.
He just isn't okay. He's just not good.
He's just not mentally stable. Not
when
because he just is a bad person, but because of the how absolutely not so family friendly.
the day we decide that we just don't want to do the podcast anymore is the day he comes on.
Oh, is
Okay,
it?
guys, so the podcast is ending. Welcome this special guest, and our final one, as a matter of fact, random person.
This ends right there.
He says
it's just like an hour of silence, and like interspersed is just like you hear like a snippet of a scream.
Or just in his dungeon.
Right in the background.
He starts reciting the CBT, and the episode ends instantly.
Okay.
For some reason, he starts like reading Shakespeare.
Oh, thy king of right there, like something.
Just starts saying Shakespearean quotes, and the podcast
Be or not to
ends.
be, that is the question. Whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
Stop. I actually have never heard of anyone that memorized that. Please.
I barely know any Shakespeare or Caesar or anything from Rome. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know any of that.
So, Peter, you
can't
got any
lie,
more stories?
Because we were talking about Oh, do you want me to say a funny story?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Still about school, correct?
Yeah. We're trying to keep on that
One, two,
topic.
yeah.
Sorry. So I guess we're just gonna have to have a little random hut scene, I guess.
No, I'm keeping that in.
Oh, you're keeping all of that in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
it's fine.
bleep the names, you know.
The names and bad words. Yeah.
That's good.
Cool.
That's why we need to make sure we say as least amount of bad words as possible.
Never mind.
We don't want to be demonetized.
No,
Bleep, 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 bleep.
You're gonna be metallized.
Just say it in Simlish.
Anywho, I do have more funny stories. Does preschool still count as school for you guys?
Yeah.
It does for me.
Yes. Same
Okay.
building.
So I have two little mini stories.
Yeah.
Nice.
The first
Same.
mini story is how I got an identical scar with my father.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
Basically, he was not there, but he has an identical scar in the exact same place, but not the same way. But I did get an identical scar as him. Basically, what
Cool.
I did was, you know how as a child you just
I have a
decide
scar too.
randomly to run as fast as you can, like around the house or just anywhere?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
you gotta go for that.
All the time.
And you know how most preschool buildings are like a square.
Yeah.
Mine are round, but yeah, it's up made of brick. That's square.
No, mine was like in a rectangle, so it was even harder for them to catch us because it was actually a pretty big like preschool area. Just that one year, I guess there weren't that many people, so I could run around really, really fast. And because I'm a child, the teachers didn't want to grab me, so they just kind of let me run around because I wasn't trying to run into anyone. I was purposely dodging people, and then all you hear is just like you see. Basically, I was told that all the like preschool yard duty person, whatever you want to call it, the teacher, if you will, just heard like a thud, looked over, saw like a wardrobe thing wobbling, me crying on the floor with like blood just like gushing out of my face.
Oh god. Bam!
It's right above my right eyebrow, next to my temple, actually.
That's stupid. It's fine. It's just, you know.
Comes out
Yeah.
after like a couple months. I'll be okay. You live.
Duct tape will fix
Now the
that.
second thing. Now my second little mini story. Still in preschool, actually. I don't know why, but I thought that in order for you to be a grown-up at the time, is you had to have a girlfriend.
Oh, yes, right.
So, you know how in preschool you get nap time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, for me it was pimp time. So I was just just like, hey girl,
Hey,
how you doing? I don't need any sleep. Look at me. I'm a big man.
I'm a big boy now.
Just like stupid stuff like that. My mom refuses that I used to do that, but oh boy, I actually remember doing that. I was
Wow.
like the worst like child hitting. Like it was the most childlike hitting on you could have ever seen. And if you were the like yard duty there, you would have just let it happen and just laughed the entire time.
Do you want to go play on the swings together?
I'll let you borrow my race car, and then we can play little girl toys like Barbie.
Imagine
And then
you
we can have
actually
a
got.
family.
Pencils.
Imagine you actually got a girlfriend, and then you just walk up to like the yard duty officer or someone who's just like, "Hey, I'm a grown up now."
I'm a grown up now. I can drive cars because I have my
security guards?
girlfriend with me.
Drink alcohol?
And here's the sad part. Here's the sad part of that story.
Produce the wine glass.
None of the other girls knew what I was talking about and thought I was just really, really funny. So I never got a preschool girlfriend.
Wow.
Friend zone. Ah, no.
Not even friend zoned. They just laughed at me.
Wow. That's harsh. That's
That's why it's the sad part of the story.
You can look back on them now and laugh at them.
yes. Yeah, my life is always a sad part. Wait, what?
I was either a really smart or dumb kid, and in preschool, I was a really, really dumb kid.
I
was about
am
Same.
in a constant state of being both simultaneously.
It's like a
That is also how I am.
It's like a delicate balance.
Yeah.
Anyone else got any funny stories?
Yes, I do. I have two short ones made very long. So
Okay.
I would say like I fall into the side of dumb, and I have to claw my way back out to have like a smart idea, and then I fall right back in because I'm.
and you fall back in the hole. I have an idea. No, I'm back in the hole.
Yep.
Okay. I have two stories. So I forgot who it was who was telling the story about reading the book and the bell
Alex.
rings and the class.
That was
Okay.
Alex.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
me.
I have something. I have something very similar to that. It was in first grade. And first grade we didn't change classes. It was just the same class in recess and yeah. And it was the end of the day. And so my elementary was built in 2000. It was built in 2001. And my elementary
Great
doesn't
year.
have a bell. It has a siren that rings in the beginning of the day and the very end of the day. So the changing of classes and stuff like lunch and whatnot is all orchestrated by the time and teachers. Like, so are you ready? Are you ready over there? Yeah, let's go. Let's go to lunchtime or art class or something. No, yeah. So there's no bell, but it was the end of the day. And my favorite teacher out of any teacher in my life, to be honest, her name is Miss. You might put that out. I don't know. But yeah, and she is the best teacher ever. Best elementary teacher out of all of them. I don't care who it is, but she is like is the wonderful.
She was the greatest teacher of all time. She was the real goat.
Exactly. Yes. And yeah, so I kind of lost my phrasing. Okay, so it was the end of the day, and during that semester, she would play a video kind of like Blue's Clues, but it was a whole different dude and everything. And this dude would like read a book and talk to the camera and the audience about this book and things about it and talk about the food that'd be in it or
Reading Rainbow?
Bread's Clues.
Possibly. Not Blue's Clues. Wait, what?
Bread's Clues.
No, there was a really old like 1990s or 1980s show called like Reading Rainbow, and it's like a black guy that used to like read books to kids and like ask questions on it.
Well, I was too young to see
Reading
what it works.
Rainbow.
I don't know. I don't think it was that. It could have been at one point, but I don't know. But well, it did look pretty old, but I don't know. But it was on the smart board, so it had projector going out. That's probably why it looked pretty old. But so the end of the day, and everybody lines up, and on the little movie, she has started it kind of late in the hour. So we didn't have time to finish it all the way out, kind of as we did on past movies. So it was towards the end. It was towards the end of the episode, while everybody was already lined up and starting to leave. I didn't know that. I'm still in my seat, zoned in on the smart board, watching him eating these beans. I think beans are name or whatever. It's pretty good. He's trying something sometimes. He's talking to the camera, and the story has been told. The story is like an animated slideshow, but anyway. And I'm just zoned in while everybody is packing up and leaving and lining up and going out the door. I'm zoned in. I take a second right when the very end of the thing is and the camera cuts, it goes black. I look around and there's nobody in the room. Not even my teacher. I'm like, oh god. So for a little moment, like 5-year-old me is panicking, like, holy crap, where did I go? What?
Am I invisible?
Where did I go? It's here. So then, from my desk,
For like 5 minutes. Sorry. Continue.
well, so I stood up from my desk. I think I had a backpack then. I forgot if I did or not. And then my teacher, walks in the door frame, and I told her, "Are you coming?" And she seemed just as confused as I was as to why I wasn't with the line of kids going out, I wasn't in line of kids going out to the buses and to go home. And I was like, I don't know, I'm going out, thank you, and bye. It just freaked me out why everybody just disappeared. I'm like, where did everybody go?
And that is how your abandonment issues started.
Don't get me started on that one.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah. It's one time. Okay. So my second story. I don't think I already. If I said I had a second one or not, but yeah. So my second one is a bit later or sooner, I guess you could say. But it was in 8th grade before COVID. It was the beginning of the year in PE class.
Yeah.
So we were playing in the PE, or was it 8th Hour Athletics? I forgot. But either way, we were all playing in the gym, the only gym in the whole junior high that's connected to the high school. Anyway, it's a small school, and so my friends who are still friends to this day, and they play baseball, basketball, and same kids. Again, a very small school. And his name is I don't know if you believe that. I don't know if you believe that or not, but anyway. So his name was, and me and some other kids were playing with a football, and I don't know how this happened, but like, so basically, so the story of how the football got in the basketball goal. So I was playing catch with some kids, and back in the 8th grade day, it was probably one of the best days in my junior high and high school days and years. Probably one of the best years, and I was having fun throwing the football farther than most kids could. I still throw football pretty well, actually, even though I'm the fumbler guy. I can't catch with the crap. Anyway, but I remember. So when I was playing catch, one was like, "Hey, Trayson, over here." Yeah, from across the entire gym, from corner to corner. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I throw it, and I think he even said it too. I throw it, So I chuck it, and that wasn't when my arm was too strong, so I had a major arch on it. It arched so much that it barely touched the ceiling beams, like just inches away. Comes down. For some reason, decides to kick it full force, like full right leg, just bam, kicks it, flies again the opposite direction of the entire gymnasium, and lands with a swish directly in the goal. The entire gym is like,
perfect.
Oh my god, he just kicked it in the goal. But he came up to me, gave me a high five. Everybody was like cheering for some reason. It was the most epic moment of the entire day for everybody.
That moment, a core memory formed.
Exactly. Yeah, everybody was all hyped over it. It was insane how that happened. Yeah, fun times.
That kind of reminds me of something that happened to me. So I took PE.
Wait! Before you continue, Trayson, the reason you're the fumbler is because your little sticky butterfingers can throw real well, but they just slip right through your hands.
So that story kind of reminds me of something that happened to me. I took PE. It was my 3rd hour freshman year. I had gotten back, and we actually played a lot of badminton. And we didn't play it how normal people usually play it. We had 2 teams.
Are you saying you had competitive badminton?
Yes, exactly. It was badminton termination style. It was termination style badminton. So we had 2 teams. If you swung at the birdie and you missed and it hit the ground, then you're out for the remainder of that round. The last team standing wins the round. And it was competitive. But you see, birdies tend to not be made very well. Maybe because they aren't made very well. And maybe because they are made in China. Maybe.
Maybe, but it's an assumption.
I don't know, birds are pretty fragile anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that goes tweet, Yeah.
That's my favorite bird, the one that goes squawk, squawk.
Yeah, that makes the greatest birdie. Anyway, so I think I'm standing in the back of my group, and the enemy team hits the birdie, and the head goes flying clean off of this bird. Now it starts flying, and I kind of look at it, and I'm like, "Oh, hey!" And I reach my hand up, and I just catch it. Without thinking.
I got it.
Without thinking, I just reach up, catch it, and it's just like, oh, hey, I got it, guys.
Oh my god.
Whenever the birdie got decapitated, did you hear just like a video game decapitation?
No, it was more of like a game over.
It's like fatality. Fatality.
What was that?
I
It sounded
can't
like
beaver.
Peter, you sounded like Cookie Monster.
Was it
Dark Hermit.
I heard Cookie Monster
Wait,
from
I know
Peter.
his voice is here. I want it to be known.
I got a little anecdote from first and second grade. So in first grade, I was a loner, like complete, just on my own all the time.
In first grade, I hated everybody.
Why is
Oh,
that
yeah,
everyone's
first
first grade?
Apple
That
is in the
seems like
shadows.
that was me as well.
I didn't hate everyone. I just watched
Pretty much-
everyone and talked to
pretty
adults
much-
like normal people.
Yeah, pretty much preschool through I would say even 7th grade. I was just alone all the time. Because like I didn't want to hang out with anyone, and I was extremely antisocial. But anyway, so in first and second grade, I was very antisocial, and I just stayed away from everyone. And so at the school, it's not part of the playground anymore. But at the school, the playground, there was a playground, and then there's like an area near like where you come out to go to the playground. But behind the playground was this like section of woods, and the fence was within the section of woods, right? And so this fence is like way back. So like what like we were all able to go like down into the wooded area, and so what I would do is there's like rock, and I found a nice rock, and I set it down, and I put other rocks on top of it, right? And I found another big rock that had like a slightly sharp, it's a banging rock, and so what I
dangerous
did-
rock.
yeah, and so what I did is I would use one rock that's like a big flat rock, and I would put a small like pebble or like a smaller rock on top of that, and I would just like crush it with the crushing rock, and that's like all I did like every recess. Is I would just
Wow.
go up
Which one's my
did.
next subject?
after
Yeah,
I was
shotguns
done.
the rock casually.
Yeah, when we were about to go inside, I would put the rocks in a very specific place, right? Because
Where it looked like it was a rock murder scene.
Wait, hold on,
yeah,
Alex.
there'd be a bunch of rock dust.
Which elementary school did you go to?
This was Oak Grove.
Oak Grove. Never been there, so not a place I knew.
Same.
Yeah, so I'd store the rock that I put other rocks on and the smashing rock, and I would put them like in the nook of like the roots of like a specific tree, and so every recess I would be able to go back over there, find the rocks, and just do like repeat the process.
Continue butchering them like a
So,
butcher at a meat shop.
Dang.
Yeah,
It's like you
so
hit
I
the
did
rock.
that. Yeah, so I did that all year, and it was great fun. But eventually the year
My
had to
favorite
end, right?
rocks to break were the ones that exploded.
Oh yeah,
What?
when you get into dust, it's really satisfying. Like I would actually still recommend it. Like if you
I actually
actually
rocks together make some
if you
I
ever
also
want
used to do that.
sparks out of them.
just like crush some rocks. It's a great.
So,
it's a great.
Whenever
session.
you're doing this, just be careful of your literal eyeballs. If you want to keep your eyes closed as soon as it's like about to hit the rock,
Oh, yeah, no,
because
it's a dumb idea,
sometimes
but
those
I
rock
do it.
shards will actually shoot into your eyeballs and not feel really good.
Yeah, I think
Even-
teachers actually
Yeah.
might have told me off for doing it or something at some point, but I just moved where I was doing it. Either way, so I did that, and then, year has to end. So, to school, I remembered, where I put the rocks, and I was planning on doing it some more. And so, I go to the area where, the recess where I remember, I go to the area where I had stashed my, rock and my smashing rock.
Tools. Quote unquote
Yeah.
tools.
Tools.
My workbench, quote unquote, and my hammer, quote unquote. I went to the tree where I stored those things, and the two specific rocks I used, which I remembered them very well because I use them all the time, they weren't there. And I was
Sabotage.
I was so upset by the fact that I didn't have the same rocks, and I looked for different big
my
rocks.
favorite
Oh my
rocks.
God, I have a perfect story. That
They were,
reminds me of something.
perfect rocks. They were the perfect rocks, and I just couldn't find them. And so I had to use imperfect rocks for that year, and I was so sad that it was so but it wasn't nearly as good,
I did something like that once.
Imperfect
Yeah.
rocks.
Kind of sad.
I have a
Yeah.
actual perfect story because of you. Now, as a kid, I lied. I wasn't either stupid or smart. I was three things. And I constantly switched between the three. I was either
You
four.
were-
Wrong. I lied again.
You were
I was either
really,
really-
in gas.
No, I was either extraordinarily nice. I would basically give my food to other people. I was that type of kid. Just be like, hey mom, there's this homeless guy. Let's give him $1 million. And then my mom would just be like, no, here's $1. here's some quarters. And then there'd be kind, very vicious. I've actually stabbed a person with a pencil randomly just because it was angry that day. And this also did happen in school. This also did happen in school. It was with a pencil. I'm not going to explain that one, not because it was sad, but because I just was angry and I don't know why.
I was stabbed with a dull
Oh, yeah.
pencil.
I was
I'm
just,
hit.
or I was really quiet or antisocial or social. It was constantly a swap between the four.
Yeah.
Now, one day I was being antisocial like usual, just finding leaves, and then I saw these random leaves that were coming off this tree. Caterpillars were probably eating them and put them in very cool shapes. And I was just like, oh my god, these leaves! It looks like dragon patterns! It's the dragon leaf! It's dragon leaf! Oh my god! Because second grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we go in, the cafeteria bell rings because that school for some reason was recess cafeteria instantly.
Wow.
And then we would just all run in, go to cafeteria, and then I would always sit next to this girl. I never remembered her name, but my mom currently thinks that she probably had a crush on me at the time. But since
Probably.
second graders aren't good at expressing that, they just kind of take things, laugh, and then give it back after a while. I wasn't having it that day. So I hot swapped from being antisocial to very, very mean. She took my leaf, and I went, and she's like, hey, hit it behind her back, and I was like, give it back. I started crying basically, and then she crumbled it in front of my eyes. I witnessed my child. Second grade me thought my child that basically died in front of my eyes. So I went. No. And then I basically, you know how cafeteria chairs, specifically the ones that are benches, you know how you can put your feet up, bend backwards very far, and then launch forward?
I did that a lot, yeah.
I did that with a headbutt.
Oh, all the way,
Oh,
180 degrees.
The full 270.
Taking it
That
around
child did
town.
not have a good day, and that is the reason I don't remember her name, because she never went near me again. I'll tell you this, she never took my leaf again. I can tell you that, she never took my leaf again.
Lesson
And then I
learned.
was, forced into dumb classes for that year.
Wow. So you bang your head
For
once
anger
and
issues.
So
Oh,
I
so-
For
okay,
anger
never mind.
issues.
I did send a picture in the Discord in the chat. Just because it's so freaking annoying.
PBSH
Mewies. I love Mewies.
Yeah, the L is not capitalized, but the rest.
Mule. See now, mules.
Why?
That's
Why is the L not
but
capitalized?
taller, like at least. Like, what were they thinking?
That's horrible.
I noticed it while
Wait.
I was walking with Peter.
Where'd you put it? Sadly, we don't have black holes in the solar system. What? Sadly,
Sadly, guys, we don't have any black holes in the solar system.
We can make
I
that
don't know if
change.
it's a random theory, but wasn't there a theory that our solar system is partially held together by a black hole?
No, it is.
Yeah.
Like, our solar system is quite literally held together, like, in the center of a black hole. Why did you show your face for a moment?
I misclicked the.
Miscalculated.
I misclicked it.
Raggy people, some weird things are going on.
Yo.
What's up, bro?
Yo!
Hold on.
I have a sound system here.
What?
What sound system? Okay.
Yeah, so
me in the
my
background,
mic is like, what are you sitting next to? We should have all of our
I
Discord
hate
calls like
having
this.
cameras simply because of the reason that I look like I have a lazy eye in every camera photo.
I can't see what you're saying there. I can't see what you're saying. Why can I see that one?
Oh no!
Give me my soundproof.
Alex, yes. Show us your face. Oh god,
Yeah.
you're dead. You're a dead body.
You don't have a shirt on.
Wow.
Oh no, you do. Okay, where your arm was, it looked like you did not have a shirt on.
No, I'm good.
Like I have a casual drawing of Trayson in the background.
Yeah.
I hate
this.
I think
This like.
I mean, like right
I
back,
hate having videos.
right
of me
there
simply
is a
because
staff picture.
So is this going in the video?
I mean,
No,
there's nothing
this-
for the viewers to see.
Yeah, so
Oh,
this is
okay.
probably gonna get cut out.
No.
Great.
Yeah,
No,
why?
let
I'm
them
gonna
be confused.
Purely honest. Anyone who meets me in real life is just like, oh, that's a person, and then as soon as they take a photo of me, it's like, oh, his eyes are crooked.
Oh, the flashlight carrying on the line. Oh no.
And I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure, Peter, that that's like one of the first things I noticed about you when I first met you.
I noticed the first time that I met you, but okay.
No, it's perfectly fine. I completely accept it because what am I gonna do? Uncrooked my
understand.
eyeballs?
Yeah.
Uncricket.
Just gotta be better,
I
Peter.
was just
Just
like,
gotta
oh,
be
that's
better.
interesting.
Oh, you're right, skill issue.
Yeah, skill issue? Come on, man.
Like
So-
I always like if you me and my mom have both admitted that if you take like a very thin black line and put it in the center of my face, like splitting my face in half, and you cover up one side, it's like, oh, that's a normal person. You move your hand over to the other side, oh, that's a normal person. You remove your hand completely, and it's like,
Your face
that
is all
man has
messed
two
up.
faces on two different faces.
It's like two different pictures put together.
Okay. I have one more story. Any of you have any
One
other
more.
stories that you must tell?
We're getting close on time, but no, I don't.
Go ahead, shoot. Yeah.
Nah.
All right. So I still kind
Actually,
of.
there was a.
So anyway,
Continue.
I still kind of feel some embarrassment from this, but this happened in like pre-K. Many stories from pre-K, but let's just say that I was a stupid child. Okay.
I thought you were intelligent. Hang on.
No, I was not intelligent. Anyway, so
You lost your
I'm smart.
I remember.
I was being smart.
It was this was during a like lunchtime. We were all gathered around this table and we were all like eating, and I had eaten we had these half of a banana, and I had eaten mine, and someone was struggling with theirs and asked me to peel it for them, but I didn't understand what they were saying. I thought they just were giving it to me. So I peel it, and then I start eating it in front of them.
Unintentionally very cool.
Can you unpeel this? Sure, unpeels it. Oh, no. Hey, that's my banana. Sorry.
And then
That's my banana, my lunch.
Then I quickly excused myself to go to the bathroom, and the teachers thought I needed to go throw up. But no, I just ran to the bathroom and started crying to myself. I was like, "Oh no, what did I do? What did I do?"
I can just imagine all that going down.
A teacher ended up coming and getting me and calmed me down. But it's one of my more embarrassing moments of my life.
So this one time, never mind. No.
I was about to say, but if that's all of our stories, why don't we end it off and we can, then I can edit for the next hour. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to do that. Not again. I hope you guys enjoyed this Bumbling.
Fumbling.
And Stumbling.
Idiots podcast episode. And we'll see you all next week. And
Episode 3!
Wow!
We'll be back next week.
Next time on the Fumbling, Stumbling Idiots. Just a drama ensues.
In the next episode, we will be discussing
Fumbling Idiots. I said that wrong anyway. They took out their job.